Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, text 21, translation. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Purport. People in general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Lord Chaitanya said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya, or the ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principles of Shastra, scripture, to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures like Manu Samhita and similar others are considered the standard books to be followed by human society. Thus, the leader's teaching should be based on the principles of such standard Shastras. One who desires to improve himself must follow the standard rules as they are practiced by the great teachers. The Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees, and that is the way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king, or the executive head of a state, the father, and the school teacher are all considered to be natural leaders of the innocent people in general. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with standard books of moral and spiritual codes. Yadyada charati shreshtas tatade vetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So does anyone know what is the title of today's part 5 of our seminar? Yeah?
Following the rules.
What?
Following the rules.
Following?
The rules.
The rules?
Yeah. The Shastras.
No. I said when I had the first lecture, so it was a long time ago, so you cannot possibly remember. Only if you have written it down. Any other guesses?
You mean the ideal leader?
What?
The ideal leader.
The ideal leader. This is close. This is close. I mean, you can guess by the verse also. Yes.
Become a trusted guide.
Where did you find it?
It's written down.
This mine.
Written down in my scriptures.
In your scriptures.
Yeah. I was thinking that some of you will say, take only prasadam. So become a trusted guide is a very nice continuation of our discussion yesterday in the meeting about mentorship. And I wanted to ask Rupa Vilas Prabhu to give us a summary of yesterday's meeting that we had for 1 hour or maybe 1.5 hours. Whatever you think was important, whatever you remember, if you can share with devotees here.
One of the most important things if we want to lead someone or to mentoring someone, then we have to act like that the person can also trust us, can have faith in us. So, in the verse it said, if whatever a great man is doing, the people will follow him. And I'm sure it's also connected with faith in the person. Yeah.
So we spoke about starting an official mentoring system, and even unofficially some things can be started that are in favor of devotees, where devotees can help each other succeed. And so the beginning would be that a group of devotees who were present last night, and also some were present online, and some didn't have time to come, but they were interested, that they start meeting, those who are potential mentors start meeting regularly and start supporting each other, and then from that group, one by one, some of them can form groups, and some people, they're already counseling some people, so these people can already join their group, but they can also offer, like officially, and then others can join who are attracted maybe to this preacher or to this leader or to this devotee who is officially a mentor. And in this way it can develop into more groups. And for those who are maybe not attracted to the mentoring system and maybe are maybe senior, or maybe they're not inclined to accept someone junior as an official mentor, we can create success partnerships where senior devotees can help each other, they can meet, and they can have partnership in the sense that in a session, half session you are a mentor, half session the other devotee is a mentor, and you are being supported in this kind of a structured conversation. So this verse speaks about leadership, and a spiritual guide or mentor or counselor or a coach is actually also a leader, a type of a leader. And so Srila Prabhupada says people always need a leader. People always need a leader. We always need a leader. We also accept leadership. We have accepted leadership of Krishna. We have accepted leadership of Srila Prabhupada. We have accepted leadership of his representatives. And what leaders do, first they show by example, and then they also teach. They tell us what they think is good to do, and they are doing these things themselves. So one principle that is described here for a leader or for a guide is that he actually is exemplifying what is teaching. He is exemplifying what is teaching. Sometimes people say, do as I say, not as I do. But this is very weak. Nobody will follow such a person. Do as I say, not as I do. Maybe you remember when you were a child, your parents, maybe one of your parents or both parents were smoking, and they were insisting that you should not smoke. And of course you smoked secretly. I don't want you to raise your hands if you've done that, but you were not convinced that smoking is not good because they were smoking. And once I forgot his name, a very famous welfare worker, they asked him how to teach children, and he was he organized, is it Stein? Maybe Albert Schweitzer or Rudolf Steiner, one of two of them, I'm not sure. But Rudolf Steiner organized Waldorf School, which is a different type of school, different than the ordinary. So, but both of them were related to helping people and to education. And he said, they asked him how to teach. What is the best way to teach children? And he said there is only 3 principles. Principle number 1 is example, principle number 2 is example, and principle number 3 is example. So here, this point is stressed by Krishna, that one has to be an example. And yesterday we discussed 2 things that build trust for a leader or for a guide, for a mentor. Character and competence. If you have a good character, and you have good competence, then people can trust you. So, character may include your exemplary behavior and your caring nature. These two things. Competence may include that you have some knowledge and you know how to apply it. You know what to do and you know how to do it. And how to apply it according to time, place and circumstances, or time, place and the person involved. Desha, Kala, Patra. So of course, as devotees, you are already very, very good examples, but we can always get better in whatever we do. So you have a, disciplined life and dedicated life. And at least you can teach people what you are doing. Maybe you are not doing everything perfectly, but you are doing more than them, and you can teach them to do at least as you are doing. But as you are teaching them, you are inspired to do better yourself. You are inspired to do better yourself and to be a better example and better inspiration for them. To build trust is very hard, it's very slow, and to lose it is very easy. It goes very fast. So we say that, the title of this talk is Become a Trusted Guide. And to be a trusted guide, one has to become trustworthy. And trustworthy means that you gain people's trust easily or quickly. And I know people whom some people get in touch first, second time, and then start talking about their private things that they have not revealed to anyone. So they command trust. They don't demand trust, but command trust. Command trust means that people are inspired to trust you by your behavior and by your dealings and by your example. And sometimes people are inspired to trust you by their intuition or their inner feeling about you that this person is very honest. And they're right. They may be right. I remember once two persons sent me a Facebook request, and I didn't know that they are not connected. I thought that the first person whom I knew asked or suggested to the other person to send me a friend request, and I thought that this person has actually invited or asked this person, but that was not the case. Somehow it was the second person was actually told by my other friend to send me a request, and when I saw this person's face, I thought I can trust this person 100%. And as I got to know this person more and more, I saw that it was true and that I was right. But I just had this very strong feeling, and I don't have this feeling with everyone. Actually, very rarely I get this feeling that when I meet someone or when I see their photo, I have never met that person, but I have only seen the photo, and immediately I had that impression, this person is super honest. And to this very day, this didn't change. I don't know how. This doesn't happen to me every day. I don't know how, but sometimes we have just some inner feeling that I can trust this person. Trust is something that you can build over time, and if you lose it, you can restore it. You can restore it. How? Well, if we look at trust as a bank account where you can put things, put things onto the bank account or into the bank account, and you can withdraw. So certain behaviors are investments, and certain behaviors are withdrawals from the bank account of trust. So if we increase doing things that develop trust, that build trust, and decrease things that diminish or decrease trust, then people will trust us. And to me, devotees' trust is very precious because they are special people. They are precious people. So if we lose trust of devotees, that's a big loss. Maybe the biggest loss you can have. And I was joking the other day, some people challenge, can I trust Krishna? And then I say, can we trust you? Can Krishna trust you? Let's be fair. You put yourself in a position to judge Krishna and to question Krishna's existence, Krishna's honesty, Krishna's motives, Krishna's integrity. But who is questioning you? If we want to be fair, we should question you too. So can you be trusted? You want other people, you don't give your trust so easily to other people, but can people easily give you their trust? So there has to be a fair relationship, fair deal. How trustworthy you are. One simple example is the thing that builds trust is making and keeping promises. Now anybody can make a promise, but to keep a promise, this is something where we fail. So the law of nature, the law of God, is if you make a promise and don't keep it, trust goes down. No matter what you say, no matter what kind of a perfect reason or excuse you have, but trust will go down if you make a promise and don't keep it.
That means trust has directly to do with faith.
Faith in?
Faith in God. Trust and faith.
Yes,
they are twin brothers.
Yes, they go hand in hand. But we are speaking about trust between people in this situation. Trust between people and how to build trust between people. So then what builds trust is if we show genuine interest in someone. Genuine interest. And what does that mean? It means that you are ready to listen to people when they describe their lives, their challenges, their successes. If you say, I'm really interested in you, but you never have time to spend with that person or to listen to them, they will not trust you. They will not believe you. Oh, your life is very important to me, and then you never have time. So you might tell me, oh, my family is so important to me. How much time do you spend with your family? Oh, well, I'm working, I spend half an hour a day with my family. So if you're working to support your family, that's fine, but you also have to find time to spend some private time, some quality time, some personal time with them, and not only half an hour. And imagine you're working whole day and you spend your day in front of the screen of the computer, and you come in the evening to your home and you spend the rest of the evening in front of the screen of your smartphone. And your kids also. And you can text each other. Sometimes some people text each other and they're sitting in a room next to each other. But people somehow, it's more interesting to send a text message than to talk to someone. It looks like it's more interesting to do it through the gadget, through the electronic device. And now the topic about building trust is a big topic, and we can have a whole seminar about it, we can have some exercises and things like this. But in summary, we can say that there are things that build trust, and there are things that increase trust, and there are things that decrease trust. Hare Krishna. So we want to increase doing things that build trust. The same thing is with self-confidence. We all speak about self-confidence. So if you cannot make a promise to yourself and keep it, like make a promise to yourself, tomorrow I'm going to finish my 16 rounds, and you don't do it, then how can you trust yourself? So when you trust yourself, you need to trust in your motives, you need to have trust in your sincerity, and also ability. But more important is intention and motive and sincerity, and ability can be developed, but this first thing has to be a choice. Has to be a choice. And how do you develop confidence that you can do anything? How can you develop confidence that you can do something?
Practicing.
Practicing. Doing it?
By experience.
By experience?
Following the instructions.
Yeah.
First of all, set some goals, what I want to do. And then try to keep it, to follow.
Wonderful. You have all wonderful ideas. I think what Lamita Mataji said maybe summarize everything. If you want to develop confidence that you can do something, you can develop it by doing it. Oh, I have no experience in giving classes. I ask you to give class and you say, well, I have no experience. And then my question is, how will you gain experience by giving classes? By dreaming about it? Or by listening to others? You have to start. Who will come to my public talk? Because I have never given a public talk, I'm not famous as a speaker. So how will you become famous? Next life? You have to start anywhere and then go everywhere. You have to start anywhere. You have to start somewhere. Yeah. You have to start somewhere. So start doing it, and when you start moving, then the universe, I like the universe. This is a new age name for God. Then the universe will help you. If you start moving, nothing happens until you start moving. I also have a more heavy one-liner. Nothing happens until you push. Either yourself or others, or ideally both. So nothing happens until you push. And in order to move yourself or different parts of your body, I don't want to mention all the parts, you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself. Because if you want to move, the mind will say, it's so hard to go from here to there. It's so far. I mean, it's like 7 meters. I'm going to exhaust myself. I'm going to suffocate. It's so hard. It's so hard to do anything if you're lazy and if the mind is in the tamaguna. Sounds familiar a little bit. So, but you say, you need to, we are coming back to our second topic, use positive language, develop a high quality inner dialogue. The way you talk to yourself is very important. If your mind tells you it's hard, you say, my dear mind, it's possible. My dear mind, it's not hard, it's just you have a limiting assumption, you have a limiting assumption, you have a limiting belief that this cannot be done. So there is so many things that people were thinking before that were impossible. When Steve Jobs approached Hewlett and Packard to present to them some new idea, they said, you have not even graduated from the university, little man, get lost. And then later he left them in his dust. He left them in his dust by the Mac and the iPhone and iPad. So they didn't recognize, but he always believed in his idea. Because why? Because he saw that there is a need for this. People would be very happy to have a personal device. And so many of us are happy and a little bit depressed with our devices. Because not always people contact us. Nobody liked my post. And so I forgot how we came to Steve Jobs. We spoke about self-confidence. So if you want to develop confidence that you can do something, then you need to practice, you need to do it. And I showed you the other day the greatest success secrets it's called daily practice. Greatest success secret. So we all like to see champions, like Novak Djokovic is a champion. But we don't know what is behind this success. How many hours of training, how many hours of conditioning training, how many how much blood, sweat and tears behind this, how many maybe hours away from the family, how many doubts, self-doubt. Can I do it? Can I come back? I had injuries. We know about champions who had injuries, you have injury of the main instrument for your sport, like your legs or hands, and you need a year to recover. Who has this determination to do that? You need a strong mind to do this. So come back from injuries and build up your physical strength again, mental strength again. And there is this saying, if at first you don't succeed,
keep going.
There are so many motivational speakers here. Keep going, and what else?
Fear.
Huh?
Repeat, he said.
Repeat.
Yeah, don't succeed and repeat.
Okay, if at first you don't succeed, try again. But some smart people say, if at first you don't succeed, ask yourself why. Because maybe you are doing something wrong. But determination, not giving up, is encouraged by Srila Prabhupada very much. He said, failure is a pillar of success. In Krishna consciousness, there is no failure. So to be a trusted guide, to be a leader, one has to be determined himself. Otherwise, how he can convince people that this is the right path? Never give up chanting, never give up practicing, never give up trying. Michael Jordan, one of the legends of basketball, he explained why he's successful. He says, because he failed so many times. So there is a saying that the teacher has failed many more times than the student will ever try. So do you want to be a student who never tries, or you want to be a teacher who has failed so many times and he has finally found a way? You can choose what you want to be. Do you know what is my definition of hell? Comfort zone. Comfort zone is never comfortable. It's comfortable for a few minutes or a few days or a few months or a few years, and then it becomes hellish. Because material energy will not let you stay in any comfortable situation, otherwise what is the purpose of her existence? So she is here to make you trouble, and you want to create a comfort zone. You want to create your little kingdom on Hawaii, and then the tsunami comes and says, well, I'm here, now sorry, your $20 million beautiful weekend or summer house has to float. Now, you can be like in a boat, or you can do diving together with your house, deep diving. The riskiest life is life without risks. You don't believe me, I know. But you will see maybe now you don't experience this. If you don't take risks, you will get in trouble. Because if you don't take risks, this means that you don't have faith in God. And especially in the Shastra, Prabhupada speaks, risking for Him something. Risking something for Him, that earns you spiritual points. Earns you spiritual points. I remember when we went to Albania in 92 for the first time with Bhakti Vaibhava Swami and 3 more devotees. And we had only one contact, and not very close contact, not very reliable contact. And we came with the airplane, and they separated us in 2 cars. We had no idea where they were driving us. Is it in the same direction? So they drove us to an expensive hotel in Tirana, and it was scary. Their airport is like a local bus stop. It looks like that. Maybe not now, but at that time, in 92, it was like this. And it was just after communism fell, so it was still a quite spooky situation there. It was quite scary. We didn't know. And we went to make some program to distribute Reservoir of Pleasure in Albanian, to do a public program, and we also had a TV appearance in the main news. And devotees who distributed books, I wasn't the one. And they distributed 200 Reservoir of Pleasure, and then we printed out because they ran out of books. So we photocopied them and then distributed photocopies. And there was a couple of little bit scary things there. Like Maharaj and one Prabhu went to the seaside, and but some people were throwing stones at them, just joking. And then some boys were pulling Maharaj's sika when he was walking in the city. But it was not so severe, but still it was unpleasant. So we didn't know, but somehow we did it, and when we came back, we felt that it was successful, and that we did some risk. When you do a risk for Krishna, you feel good. And there were 70 people for the program, and we distributed sweet balls. That was my service. And we found a translator, one yoga teacher. We distributed some small books, and it was a very nice hall, one of the main halls, smaller halls in the center of the city. And every morning we would hear the Muslim priests chant Quran on the loudspeaker, very loudly. And Maharaj was trying to imitate, to follow this. Maybe he was preaching in Middle East before, so maybe he knows something from the Quran. So also there was some other visits to Bulgaria, for example, where we had to bring the translation of the Gita. Okay, I will not speak about this, but whatever. I mean, going on book distribution maybe can be a big risk because people can attack you sometimes. And yesterday someone sent me a story of a Mataji who was on book distribution, and further away from the temple, and at one point on the street there was nobody, and a bunch of dogs came in front of her, very heavy dogs. She was scared, she didn't know what to do. And somehow, from somewhere, one big dog appeared, huge dog, and he came and he scared away all the other dogs. And he just escorted her, escort? He led her to the door of the temple. So, devotees who wrote this story say that this was arrangement of Nishingadev. Whichever incarnation it was, it doesn't matter, but Krishna has saved her and she risked her life. It was a very risky situation. And when you go through the risky situation with full faith in Krishna, he is very pleased. So this is, what does it take to be a leader? That you are always ready to do more than anybody else, not less. Nowadays, leaders, they sit back and poor soldiers, they are fighting. This is not leadership. They are ordering so many soldiers to go and be killed, for sure, and they sit back. But before, king was the first to go in the battle. Was the first. So there are so many qualities that are required of a guide and of a leader. Many qualities, but one of the qualities of a leader is that he loves the people whom he leads. If you cannot love them, lead them alone. If you cannot love people that you lead, if you cannot care for them, then leave them alone and go and practice alone, or go and serve people that you like or that you love. And therefore, because he has this affection for people, he is ready to do many things and many sacrifices for people, but also inspire others to do the same. And what is the measurement of a leader? It's not how many followers he has, but it's how many leaders he has made. How many leaders he has made. This is Srila Prabhupada. There is, in one book I have read, a leader can be a genius with 1,000 followers or a follower of 1,000 geniuses. And Srila Prabhupada was both. He had few thousand followers, he was a genius, but also he was creating preachers, he was creating leaders. He was creating those who would continue this movement till this day. So he was empowering devotees. Now one story that I heard recently, I don't know if you've heard this story. Maybe you were wondering at some point when you heard about the history of ISKCON, why Srila Prabhupada has given sannyas to young boys who were completely unqualified, and many of them fell down. Maybe you had that question. It's an important question. And there is Drishtadyumna Das, Drishtadyumna Prabhu, or Drishtadyumna, who was ex-Swami, before he was a Swami. He, in his memories of Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned one instance where I think it explains how this happened. So it says that he quotes Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, he said, I have given many of you sannyas, but many of you will go down. He didn't say fall down, he said go down. Many of you will go down. He said, I'm in a war, I have to select some leaders. So how I'm selecting leaders? 1, 2, 3, 4 leader. 1, 2, 3, 4 leader. 1, 2, 3, 4 leader. So he says he gets a position of a lieutenant, but actually he is a private. You know this military position? Can you explain in German? One is higher than the other.
Ja, also der Lieutenant ist wie der Führer und der Private ist es wie, sagt man, der gerade angefangen hat mit dem Militär, ne? So wie der Butler, kann man sagen.
So he was giving them this position just to run the movement, somebody has to lead, and they made many mistakes. But he had to create an army, and he had to fight the war, and this is, so it's not that by their qualification they have been given sannyas. Of course, they were very enthusiastic and dedicated, but still seemingly not qualified, and therefore many of them couldn't keep this sannyas. But Srila Prabhupada had to start something. He was starting the movement. He was starting the revolution, and he had to empower people even in such a way, which he knew that maybe it will not work 100%. So leadership has its laws, it has its movements, and it's an adventure to become a leader. I remember when I got a responsibility in ISKCON, I felt immediately a big flow of mercy coming. And then when I left, like managerial position, which was a position of responsibility, I mean, I'm happy to leave it because it's not according to my nature very much. But I felt that this stream of mercy has gone. And I had to somehow get mercy in other ways. As soon as you step forward and say, okay, I'm going to take responsibility for Krishna in the mission, immediately you get extra mercy. So if you want to get extra mercy, you can do that and step forward and take responsibility for certain area of service. Even if you take responsibility to every day clean half of the temple room, this is also leadership. And this is also long term, it will bring you back to Godhead. Especially if you are determined to be steady. If you are determined to be steady, to not give up, never give up, you have faith in devotional service, you have faith in God, then this will bring you very, very far. So trusted guide is someone who genuinely cares about people, about devotees, and he wants to help every devotee succeed. And he is always learning how to help them. He is not envious if others become successful. If you want to be a leader, you have to give up envy. If you want to be a mentor, you have to give up envy. Why so many devotees are not stepping forward to be mentors and to be coaches? It's not easy, because you have to give up envy. Or, even better, you have to love devotees. You don't have to, but to do this service, there has to be some affection. Otherwise, how can you do it? You cannot do it mechanically or officially only. There has to be, you have to put your heart in working with people. You cannot work with people as a machine. You have to put your heart in working with people. And for this, we have to give up envy. And this is not easy. But it's possible. How? Just do it. Start doing it, and more you will get purified by service, by serving them, by doing something for them. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions? Is tomorrow 22? 4/9/22?
Yes.
Yes?
See? How to distinguish, how to know that mentorship is really needable in such or such situation. Maybe sometimes we don't need mentorship. Yes.
That mentorship is what?
Is needable.
Needed.
Needable.
Needable.
How to know that we really need?
Needful.
Need.
Needful.
Yes.
Needable. Needful. That's better.
I'm teaching you the right word.
Needful. So how to recognize?
If you want to say needable, you should say needed. Needable is not the right word.
Okay.
Needed.
So how to recognize that in this or that situation, or in this and that spiritual organization, or the devotees really need mentorship? How to know it?
Because they are leaving.
Mhm.
Because they're leaving because of the lack of care. So it's obvious that it's needed. Sometimes people come for many months and nobody talks to them. Maybe not here because it's smaller temple, but there is temples where people come for months and nobody approaches them to ask them, how are you doing, who are you, what are you doing here? So personal care, personal conversation, personal communication is important, and this can be beginning of mentorship also. And sometimes people want to take initiation from you because you took such nice care of them as a mentor. They say, I only want you for my guru, because you are so nice. I think that every mentor needs a mentor. also. So it's not mentoring is not only for younger people or newer people. Mentoring is good also for experienced devotees. And I myself, I'm doing coaching for 20 years, but I also take coaching. And it helps me a lot. I take coaching for good coaches, devotee coaches. I'm learning something from professionals, some couple of tools, but my best coaching, my best support comes from devotee coaches. Sometimes I need support from senior devotees or leaders for bigger decisions, but for my regular development, personal coaching from a devotee is helping me, and I'm learning so much. So, if somebody doesn't like this idea of mentorship, so mentor means something higher, then let us create success partnerships. Two equals approach each other and have mutual support, but structured and with knowledge how to do it, and effective, efficient, with results, structured, with accountability, mutual accountability. So if you have a success partner, you don't have a mentor, but you have a success partner, you report to them. How is your japa? How is your sadhana? How are you feeling? Are you happy in Krishna consciousness? If not, why not? Discuss it. Check the pulse. Not only for health, but in general. Heart pulse. For me, no problem. Heart pulse is beating like anything all the time. So, check all the areas of your life. Do an inventory. And then you are monitoring, with the help of another devotee, your spiritual life. I think this is very, very helpful. I don't know what you think. I think, to me, I have seen everybody who does it, they say it's helpful. Yeah?
And what is, if you have a mentor, then you don't need a success partnership, right? Or how to understand?
Yes, but sometimes even having a mentor doesn't fulfill all your needs for development. I have people from very famous temple, which has famous devotee care system, contacting me for help because they cannot tell everything to their mentor, too confidential, politics, whatever. So it's good to have more than one, actually. More than one. We have 0 now, but it's better to have 3, 4. You have like your personal council, everybody dedicated to your success. Personal board. Yeah?
But can it be also confusing one? If you have too much mentors, this mentor is saying this mentor is saying like that, so then you know, okay, what to do.
Yes, it can be confusing.
And how can you don't become confused like that?
Well, you have to choose what you follow. And it's a fact that sometimes mentor can be right and sometimes your success partner can be right. And you have to have enough intelligence to discriminate. And if you're not sure what to follow, you ask your guru. And sometimes even guru can confuse you. Sometimes, I have seen this, sometimes even a devotee doesn't understand why guru is saying this to me. He doesn't understand me at all. And, even this can happen. And then what to do? It's a difficult situation. Then maybe mentor can go and talk to guru and explain, or 3 of them can sit together. But what is important is the welfare of this individual. That they become free from confusion. And leaders should discuss together how to help this individual who is confused. It can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be confusing, yes?
So it means if our need is fulfilled, then we can understand that we are in a good atmosphere of mentoring and everything.
It depends what is your need. Your need may be material, you may be sinful. So you have to see what is your need also. If your need is, how you say, validated or, what's the word?
Verified.
Huh?
Verified.
No. If your need is bona fide. Yeah. It's not only about your needs either. I told you about this amazing text. Maybe I will read to you in my last presentation in the evening from one book. It's called "It's Not About You." So I am telling you for the last, and I'm going to tell you for the, whenever you tolerate me here, to tell you that it's all about you. But he's saying it's not about you, and he is right. I am also right. So how to understand this? Contradiction. There is a verse in the Bhagavatam which says that all contradictions are being resolved in Krishna. Simultaneously, it's not about us, but it's also about us. Why? Krishna. Now I will tell you why you are important. Okay? How many of you would like to hear why you are important? And it's not a sentimental, or pep talk, or like motivational, blah blah, or no blah blah, rah rah. No, it's based on the hard data. Do you know, Andre, what is hard data? Huh? Hard data? Data? Hard facts. So, I want to show you that you are important. Now, and now you are listening very attentively, almost as if you are listening about Rasa Lila. So, there is two parties, Krishna's party and Maya party. Both parties have a heavy marketing. And they all do marketing to get your attention. So you are an important customer, Bhakti Nirina, a very important customer. So two companies are fighting for your attention and for your business. They want to sell something to you. So, can you see how important you are? There is such a huge arrangement. The whole Sampradaya Acharyas are here just to attract your attention. They are all marketing agents. Maya has an amazing network of marketing, Just let us go outside in the center of Cologne and you will see. And they all want you. Maya has everything except you, ideally. Maya now has you to some extent. But Krishna has everything. He's God. He has everything except your love. You don't give it. So he is fighting for this. So you're so important. And on the other hand, you are completely insignificant. Krishna doesn't depend on you.
Other way around, we depend on Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. And we consider ourselves insignificant, and we also use this as an excuse not to advance in devotional service. Oh, what difference will my presence in Krishna's pastimes be because Krishna has so many gopis, so many gopas, so many cows. One or more cows, if I become a cow, it doesn't make a big difference. So better I remain rotting in the material world and don't disturb Krishna. But look at these two companies who have marketing agencies. They are fighting for your attention. And whoever you are, wherever you were born, you are important to Krishna.
Yes.
So take Krishna a little bit more seriously. Prabhupada says, don't take it too insignificantly. Prabhupada says this. Yes?
About mentorship, one point, and maybe your advice, I would like to ask. Since we didn't have a mentorship system here, then some devotees, they already have mentors somewhere in other countries or other places. So, and then sometimes I notice that it's good that they have, it's definitely good, but at the same time those mentors, they don't observe them in everyday life and they cannot really give relevant advice. So then, and on the other hand, I heard some from Ukrainian system, one advice that mentors should be nearby somewhere in your community. So it should be two who are in contact with each other, or how it should be?
They can be in contact with each other if possible, if they like each other or something. They should be, because for the benefit of the individual, it's good that all are informed. It's a good point, good issue to discuss. And also the one who is remote. I mean, I'm often in the remote position. I tease. I tease them that say, are you okay? If I ask people where you live, what the feedback about you, I test to see if they are honest with me 100%. And sometimes I ask them, can you talk to your mentor? And like this. So this remote coach, he should be also cooperative with the local devotees. He should try to cooperate with the local devotees and not allow to get one-sided information and then therefore give one-sided advice. It should be the best possible advice. And for this they need enough information. Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes yes, a mentor, we can be bored when mentoring. But we feel obliged. A person has helped so much and he's doing it so willingly, and he is really a senior person, senior devotee, but that's holy. What about changing the mentor, not to offend him?
Well, people change gurus. What to speak of mentors? They change Diksha Guru and they ask for Shiksha from somebody else. So mentors shouldn't be offended. Or they should be open to feedback to improve the service to the devotee. And if they improve, then devotee can remain with that mentor. But if not, it doesn't work. Mentoring cannot be institutionalized. It has to be a little bit of a natural click where they, match, a good match. Because it's a very personal relationship. There should be a good match because it's supposed to be long term. And it's not something official to get recommendation for initiation. It shouldn't be only for this. But that he understands me, he cares about me. I'm convinced he cares about me or she cares about me. And I trust him. And I look forward to meeting and discussing my progress. And it's all based on trust. But if it's not there, then you can try it maybe with somebody else. And develop a better quality relationship with somebody else. Okay?
How to be ready to accept the mentorship? So
How to be what?
Ready. Because we were speaking about brilliant questions, so it's clear. How the people maybe can misuse the mentorship. So I have this question: how to get married, how to get rich, how something. These questions, yes. How to be prepared to be mentored, to apply for advice, to apply for the help, to apply for being helped.
Excellent question. This is an excellent question. So, apart from making a list of the qualities of a mentor, we should make a list of the qualifications of a mentee. Qualification of a mentor, qualifications of a mentee. So we want serious candidates, not just, anybody, just because there is a system and then you can use your mentor for, whatever. So there should be some certain seriousness, sincerity, qualification, and then this person can be officially accepted as a mentee or a devotee who is guided by a mentor. And this, we can work together on this. I can propose something and then you can say, what about this? And then we can add something and make a document which describes the qualifications of it. I think I have something from the manor. They have a quite solid system, also in Soho. They have a system. So we can ask these devotees to give us a basic document that we can adjust to the needs here and, develop it here. How do you want to have it? But it's a very good point. This Prabhu who was making notes, he could write this. What's his name? Jagadishwara Prabhu. I don't have his contact, but can you write him? And one of the tasks or one of the tasks of the group, of the goals of the initial group, is to create a list of qualifications for the mentor and the mentee. Yeah, please write.
One question, if possible.
Yeah.
About the matages.
Yeah.
Matages should be mentored only by matages, or is it okay?
Yes.
You surprised me by the way you explain something, so that's a normal question, but maybe you have a good answer. How to overcome daily doubts and fears about believing?
About God?
Yes, sometimes it's really like it's a hard question that we set in mind when we get in some situation and God explains it like believe it or not, it's like that. And in the same moment, the other dark energy explains no, it's not like that. And God is like, I feel like He's like, you got to believe, and the dark things want to convince you don't believe. And then it's such a splitting of, you have to trust yourself, your own heart at the end. So how to fight such doubts and fears?
Arjuna says to Krishna, O Madhusudana, as you have destroyed the demon Madhu, please destroy my doubts. And through the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is destroying doubts. So if you hear about Krishna, most of your doubts will go away. And if you read, hear, and the rest of the doubts can be dissipated by association with those who have strong faith, who are convinced. And also by your own practice, you can be convinced that holy name works, prasadam works, philosophy works, preaching works. And one thing you can do with doubts, you can clearly formulate doubt as a question and then pose it before Prabhupada, and then you can research to find the answers. Nowadays there is so many electronic ways how to quickly search. Or you can pose it to some senior devotees that, why Krishna says this, why Krishna did that, Krishna is not helping me, how is the law of cause and effect working, law of karma. And if you like, you can make a huge list of all of your doubts and send it to me. I would be really happy to eat it and to digest it and to do something about it. If not, I can ask others if I don't know the answer to some question. But I really like doubts because it helped me to get free from my own doubts.
I would like to serve you that meal.
So please send me. My Facebook is Gita Seva. 2 words, Gita Seva. And my email is gitaseva108@gmail.com. So it's also easy to remember, gitaseva108@gmail.com. Gitaseva108 is just altogether one word. There is no dots, there is no 2 words, just one word. And send me all your doubts. From your doubts and my answer, we can make a best-selling book. How to get free from doubts about Hare Krishna, for those who want to join.
Perfect doubts, perfect answers.
Yeah, perfect doubts, perfect destruction of doubts. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm ready for the adventure.
I think you can.
What was your name again?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Oh my God, this is a very elegant name. There is Angel Gabriel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, everybody has a name of an angel, I think. More or less, yes.
You said that it's very important that for developing the community and mentorship, we should be free of envy. So how to really do it? First, if we see envy in ourselves, or second thing, if we feel envy towards ourselves. So in both of the situations.
What are two situations? Envy?
We have envy,
Ah.
we feel envy towards others.
Okay. Well, this is our main disease, and there is plenty of it around. There's plenty of envy around, so we have to learn how to deal with it. Regarding envy in our own heart, we have a process of chanting, reading, prayer, and also service. By service, we get free from envy. And envy from others, we can try to tolerate and show them that we are affectionate towards them, then this envy will go down. Sometimes, it's very important for this verse and this evening to say this. In the purport of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada says that gopis have criticized Lord Brahma because he created eyelashes and you have to blink, and in this one moment you cannot see Krishna, so they criticized him. So Prabhupada says every responsible man will be criticized by the people he serves. So welcome to the club. If you want to guide others, support others, they will criticize you and it will hurt. But you will make big advancement if you use the alchemic process of making the most out of it. And how to do this is the topic of my next course, which will cost €200 each. So I also have to get rich because nobody will believe me that I'm a success coach. So you have me become rich, and then I will share with you my wealth in the future. So you have heard that the cure for envy is service, but also proper understanding. And if you see everyone as as a child of God, that means our brother and sister, then we don't want to be envy, we want them to succeed. So I can say in one sentence, the cure for envy is helping each other succeed. Helping each other succeed. If we have always this slogan in our mind, okay, am I helping Rupa Vilas Prabhu succeed, then there will be very little or no envy between us. Helping each other succeed. I'm going to give a course on community development in Spain, in the farm, called Helping Each Other Succeed. With Yadunandan Maharaj we spoke about this. It will be maybe in 1 month or something. But I want to develop this course because it's important, because there are so many communities in ISKCON, and I think it can be helpful. Helping each other succeed. You can start your day by asking yourself, how can I help this devotee or that devotee or all the devotees here succeed? Yes? You? Okay, this is the last question, is 10 to 8.
Yes, my question is, in some situations, there is a need for a person to come up and lead in that situation, lead others, but also it is also possible that there is, let's say if I come up and lead, the situation will actually get worse. It has to take its own course. So if I don't lead it, it will be better, and if I lead it, it may get worse. So
lead.
Yeah, if I lead. So there is always a doubt whether this leading action for this situation is actually required, or let this happen by itself. Maybe something positive can come out of it. So how to judge that situation? Is there any parameters? Is there any typical criteria to?
There is no quick fix formula for this. You need to use your intelligence according to the situation. You need to use your intelligence and see. But this is such an important point. Wow, this is really, really, essential. The point you're kind of leading me to think about is that this guide, it's not about you. Again, the same point. It's not about you. Your guidance is not about you. It's about the people you lead. So you have to know when to step forward and when to back off. When to help them take initiative, or a group take initiative. And therefore, Prabhupada said, the leader should create always an atmosphere of fresh challenge for people, so that they can rise and meet it and feel good about it. Fresh challenge. So leader wants people to become empowered. He doesn't want them to be dependent on him always. And some leaders, they cannot give up their position. They're very attached and to making decisions. And then they ruin so many things, including their own life. But those leaders who are servant leaders who understand that this is service, and it's not about me leading, it's about me facilitating people's growth and facilitating projects' growth, then sometimes they step forward and sometimes they back off. And it's so important also in mentorship. Don't always dictate, don't always lead, but sometimes listen and help them lead themselves. Or sometimes you agree and you say, you admit, you are right, I follow you now. Sometimes you can do that. Okay. Make sense? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.